Indiana Fever vs. Mystics stats. Caitlinclark points, box score. After picking up their first victory of the season in Los Angeles with an 87-78 win over the Los Angeles Sparks, 0-2, on Wednesday night, Caitlinclark and the Indiana Fever 1-1. Return home to Gainbridge Fieldhouse to face former Hawkeye star Lucy Olson and the Washington Mystics in the first of a four-game homestand. Caitlinclark powered the Fever to victory against the Sparks via a team-high 24 points on 9-4, 17 shooting, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block in 31 minutes of action. As Indiana seeks to build off its first win of the season, follow along for live score updates, Caitlinclark stats, and highlights of the action between the Fever and Mystics. Clark's offensive eruption propels Indiana to close finish. Caitlinclark's offensive explosion in the fourth quarter has breathed life into the Fever's scoring, as she has scored 11 points this quarter. Washington leads 77-76 with 3:15 remaining in the game. Clark has 22 points to lead the team in scoring. Aaliyah Boston ruled out for game with a lower leg injury. Back-to-back Clark three-pointers. Washington timeout. Indiana starts the fourth quarter blazing offensively with back-to-back Clark three-pointers to bring the Fever back to within 4 points. Clark is now at 17 points so far. Washington leads 69-65 with 7:39 left in the fourth quarter. End of third quarter. Washington Mystics 67. Indiana Fever 58. Mystics expand their lead to 9 points to close out the third quarter, as the Indiana offense has looked absolutely lifeless since the early portions of the first quarter. Clark currently has 11 points on 2-4-13 shooting, 2-4-7 from three-point land, and 5-4-5 from the free throw line, along with 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block in 22 minutes of action. Fever making a comeback push. Despite shooting ice cold from the field, the Fever have made a solid offensive run to cut the deficit to just 5 points with 3:18 remaining in the third quarter. Washington leads 56-51. Mystics take double-digit lead. Stephanie White calls a timeout to regroup her team after Washington expands its lead to 10 points with 7:34 left in the third quarter. Mystics lead 49-39. Halftime. Washington Mystics 41. Indiana Fever 37. Fever entered halftime down by a 41-37 score, with Caitlinclark recording 6 points on 2-4-9 shooting and 2-for-4 from three-point land, along with 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block in 16 minutes of action. Indiana shot just 35% from the field in the second quarter, which put them in catch-up mode against the Mystics' aggressive defense. Fever second quarter offensive dry spell. After Indiana appeared to be on a roll offensively in the first quarter, the script has flipped with Washington taking a 40-37 lead entering the media timeout with 2:10 remaining in the second quarter. Mystics outscoring the Fever 19-9 this quarter. Clark still has 6 points so far. End of first quarter. Indiana Fever 28. Washington Mystics 21. At the end of the first quarter, Indiana's hot start has given them a 7-point lead, but the Mystics' defensive pressure has forced the Fever into sloppy play as the quarter closes. Clark has 6 points on 2-4-6 shooting and 2-4-3 from three-point land, along with 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block in 7 minutes of action. Caitlinclark off to a hot shooting start. Clark sends the game into its first commercial timeout with back-to-back three-pointers to bring her to 6 points on 2-4-5 shooting, along with 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block to power the Fever to a red-hot start to this game. Fever lead 21-13 with 4:12 remaining in the first quarter. Caitlinclark honored for tying impressive franchise record Indiana Fever starting 5 Indiana Fever injury report. For the second consecutive game, the Fever are without any injuries listed. However, that does not necessarily rule out minutes limitations for some of their stars returning from prior ailments, such as Lexi Hull, who is gradually returning to full-time usage.